Hi everybody, welcome to Afterburner. I'm Bill Whittle. This is Ahmed Mohammed, otherwise known as the Clock Boy. Now, you must know the official story by now. Young science genius Ahmed Mohammed constructs a digital clock out of stone knives and bearskins and brings it to his school to impress his teachers with his electronic ability. Racist and Islamophobic school officials immediately arrest the innocent teen for coming to school with a bomb. America reacts instantly to this horrific example of anti-Muslim bias. Ahmed gets immediate letters of support from people like Hillary Clinton. Mark Zuckerberg invites him to visit Facebook headquarters. President Obama tweets, "Cool clock, Ahmed. Want to bring it to the White House?" Ahmed attends the annual astronomy night and gets his picture taken with astronauts and makes a call to the International Space Station. President Obama gives a speech in which he says, "We have to watch for and cultivate and encourage those glimmers of curiosity and possibility, not suppress them, not squelch them." Google invited him to its science fair, asking him to bring his homemade clock along. Twitter offered him an internship. Ahmed was invited to visit the United Nations. He met the Turkish Prime Minister. He met New York Mayor Bill de Blasio and Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, who tweeted, "I'd buy one of his clocks." Well, good news, Mr. Adams, you may have already bought one of his clocks, because unfortunately for the ongoing progressive narrative of a hateful and racist America, there are some serious holes in this story of American intolerance and Islamophobia, starting with the fact that Ahmed Mohammed did not build that clock at all. Unfortunately for him, the sharp eyes of the internet took a close look at the circuit boards and the displays on the contraption and determined that the Muslim science genius had simply taken a stock LED clock, removed it from its case, put it in a pencil box, and claimed it as his own invention. We find that Ahmed did not bring this device to school as part of a science fair project where everyone might be expected to bring in things of this nature, but simply pulled it out of his backpack one day. His supposedly racist, anti-Muslim, intolerant engineering teacher did not apparently just tackle him on the spot, but rather said that the clock was really nice, but advised Ahmed to keep it in his backpack since the device could be interpreted the wrong way, and Texas has a very strict law regarding hoax bombs. But Ahmed did not take that advice, and he pulled the device out once again in his English class. The English teacher basically repeated what his engineering teacher had warned him about and said, "It looks like a bomb. Don't show it to anyone else." So the English teacher confiscated the clock and reported it to the principal. Now, given the Texas law regarding hoax bombs, the police had to be called, and they were. Ahmed was questioned for about 90 minutes and then arrested. But it was quickly determined that it was not an explosive device, and of course he was released. So the question is, did the school and the country, by extension, overreact? Well, the entire narrative is based on the fact that he was arrested and assumed to be a terrorist because he was a Muslim. But seriously, if a white, blonde, blue-eyed kid brought a device like this to school, was advised by his science teacher to keep it in his backpack because it looked like a bomb, but who then brought it out anyway without warning and plugged it in until it made beeping sounds in an English class, does anyone think that anything would have been any different? You know, not long ago, a 7-year-old white kid named Josh Welsh chewed a Pop-Tart into the general shape of a pistol, and he was suspended. All-American Jared Markham was arrested for wearing an NRA T-shirt to school, which presumably was not beeping numbers as it counted down. He too was suspended and faced possible charges. So let's just get this straight. A non-Muslim kid chews a pastry and he gets suspended. A non-Muslim kid wears a T-shirt and he gets arrested. But some kid pulls a beeping homemade electronic device out of a backpack twice against the advice of his science teacher. And this makes Ahmed Mohammed, the clock boy who didn't build a clock but merely took one out of its case and put it in a pencil box. This makes him an international celebrity and a martyr to American prejudice and hate. See, here's what's interesting about this, because the story of the Clock Boy is the story of modern Islam in a nice little bite-sized package. Like Clock Boy, Islam is praised by progressives, and especially this president, for its contributions to science when, in point of fact, all it has done is taken Western technology out of the box and used it to blow stuff up with. IEDs are detonated by cell phones that jihadis could never build, and they gun down civilians with simple AK-47s that they can't manufacture on their own. Like Clockboy, modern Islam does nothing but whine about grievances and prejudice while calling for mass murder all around the world. And like Clockboy, it claims discrimination when others do far less provocative actions and receive equal or even greater punishment. Now, one popular picture of Ahmed Mohammed has him pictured in a NASA t-shirt. That's actually very appropriate. NASA used to put men on the moon. Now President Obama has tasked NASA with outreach to Muslim countries in an effort to raise their self-esteem by trying to get them to overlook how much science they haven't done. Like Clockboy, modern Islam uses trumped-up stories like this one to demand more free stuff from the West by playing on Western guilt. Europe is destroying its entire culture over that kind of extortion. Clockboy is suing the city of Irving, Texas, and the Irving Independent School District for a total of $15 million, which, if awarded, will no doubt impact those students trying to build real electronics and do real science, or maybe develop the next cell phone apps or something else that's actually useful, rather than just putting 1980s technology in a pencil box and, in the process, ruining a perfectly good Micronta clock. By the way, Ahmed Mohammed left Texas for the scientific and engineering paradise of Qatar, where no doubt he will feel at home with the other tech geniuses and be free of this horrible American prejudice. However, we find out just a few days ago that for some reason, he wants to leave that paradise of reason and enlightenment and return to racist, intolerant, Islamophobic Texas. Yeah, probably just wants to come back so he can cash his victimhood check.